We begin again with breaking news as the war in Ukraine enters its 7th day. This morning, widespread destruction from Russian airstrikes in several key cities, including the capital of Kyiv. The UN says at least 136 civilians have been killed so far, but the real death toll is believed to be much higher. Officials in Ukraine are denying Russian state media reports that Russia has captured the key southern city of Kherson. U.S. defense officials say Russia's military progress has slowed, including a massive convoy heading toward Kyiv. In Washington, President Biden condemned Russia's invasion and pledged to support Ukraine in his State of the Union address, but reiterated that American troops would not be sent in to fight.
Together with our allies, we're providing support to the Ukrainians in their fight for freedom. Military assistance, economic assistance, humanitarian assistance. But let me be clear, our forces are not engaged and will not engage in the conflict with Russian forces in Ukraine.
That State of the Union address came just hours after a call with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who told reporters yesterday talks with Russia can resume when the bombing stops and that Ukraine won't win this war without help.
Ukraine will fight. We'll fight more than anyone else, but we, just by ourselves, left alone against Russia, we simply cannot manage.
We have team coverage for you this morning with NBC News military analyst Colonel Jack Jacobs, NBC News senior international correspondent Keir Simmons in Moscow, and NBC News foreign correspondent Matt Bradley in the western Ukrainian city of Lviv. Matt, let's start with you. Kyiv, a place you know well, is again in focus today following that heavy shelling we saw yesterday. Ukraine's military says Russian paratroopers landed in the city overnight. Are we about to see the start of a broader ground battle? What is the latest there?
Yeah, I mean, not only are we about to see the start of a broader ground battle, I think we're really about to see the start of a battle that puts civilians on the front line. And that's the really troubling thing, is that Vladimir Putin and his army have become increasingly frustrated. We're starting to hear, not necessarily in Kharkiv, though we are seeing signs, traces of that shift in the force arrangement. We're starting to see that also in Kyiv, where Vladimir Putin and Russia said that civilians should leave. This is the first time they actually announced that they were going to be targeting into civilian areas. Now, of course, already they've been hitting civilian targets, regardless of whether they announced it or not, even though they've been saying they've been mostly hitting military and strategic targets. We know that they've been striking civilians, especially in Kharkiv. But that's kind of the next foot to drop here, is that we're going to start to see, as this military becomes frustrated, that they're going to start moving into city centers, to residential areas. Because remember, guys, this was a military who thought that their overwhelming force and somewhat may have deluded themselves that sympathy on the ground for Moscow might have given them an easy victory. That has clearly not been the case, as we're now in day 7, and they have yet to take any seriously large areas of residential or sort of civilian-controlled areas. So now, frustrated, it seems as though they are literally bringing in the big guns. We were talking about that convoy of tanks and armored vehicles moving down towards Kyiv. Now it looks like it's getting serious in terms of civilian engagement. Guys?
Now, Matt, we're getting mixed reports out of the southern Ukrainian city of Kherson. Russia's defense ministry says it has captured the city, while the region's governor says the city is encircled by Russian forces. How much of a victory would it be for Russia if it has indeed, or does indeed, capture this city? Why is it so important?
Well, Kherson is the home of a major naval base, as in, all of those cities along the Black Sea are important assets. And frankly, as I was talking earlier about the Russian advance from the north, that's been really frustrated. But the Russian advance from the south has seen a lot more success. So we've seen major incursions into cities like Melitopol and Kherson, and also Berdyansk, which is now seen basically occupied entirely. And in fact, I believe the Ukrainians have essentially admitted that. We're starting to see videos out of Berdyansk where Ukrainian citizens are in the streets heckling Russian soldiers who are occupying that city and taking up positions in front of major points of political importance like city halls and things like that. So it would be important in the sense that it gives the Russians the upper hand in the naval battle in the south. But I got to tell you, Joe, the Russians have already made a lot of strides in the south, but that's only in compared to the frustrations that they've experienced in the north of the country, around Kharkiv in the east and around Kyiv in the center north. So yes, those advances have been pretty swift, but only relative to the frustrations they've had in the north. Guys.
All right. Matt Bradley reporting from Lviv this morning. Matt, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.